Yo, I have something I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, so I heard Kyle talk about this quite a bit. So I just sent a screenshot in there. This is my car. I have a Tesla, and I always hear you guys talk about Teslas, and I feel like sometimes you guys sound like you guys don't say. I feel like sometimes you guys mischaracterize Teslas, but basically the Tesla, when it comes to autopilot, it's not like actually self-driving. Like when I use my Tesla, like when I use autopilot, the only thing it's good for, it's basically like an advanced cruise control. It's not actual like autopilot. I guess that's just the name they use for it. But yeah, so basically whenever I use autopilot, the only time I use it is like if I'm in bumper to bumper traffic, but it actually works really well. Like I think all of you guys should get Teslas. Like, I think everyone should have a Tesla. I know the Model 3 is coming out soon, and it's the best thing ever, autopilot, because it literally is a lifesaver. Like, if you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic, you just use it, and you could just go on your phone and just do whatever the fuck you want, and it literally never crashes. Like, it's actually saved me from a few crashes. It's like its own it's like a computer, dude. I feel like it's like an iPhone, because like what I do is I press a button on my phone and it literally drives itself out of my garage, parks itself on the street, and it turns like the light off in my garage. It's the craziest thing ever. Like I don't know.
That is
Like
crazy.
technology nowadays is so insane. Yeah, and I got it for pretty cheap too. Like I feel like people think Teslas like they cost a lot of money, they're luxury cars, but like you could actually get it for like 50 grand, 60 grand. And like the Model 3 that's coming out, it's only 30 grand.
You know who's
So
getting one of those? Dr.
Who?
Chiz signed up. Like the day that
Chiz?
the day they opened sign-ups
That's awesome.
for that new Model 3, like within a few hours, Chiz had registered to get that car. Now, my theory is that he's gonna flip it. Like I think that might be in his heart. I don't know, I'm making this up. But I think that the waiting list for that car is going to be so long that they'll be selling above sticker for a while, and he'll make a quick 12 grand. I don't know.
Are they going to allow that? You think that was
no, they
that
don't.
would be
They
the
don't
sort of
allow you
thing
to
that?
Yeah, Tesla doesn't allow you to sell pre-owned cars, only with them. It's actually pretty fucked up. You kind of have to buy it new, or you can buy it pre-owned, but it has to be through their website, or else it's like not legal apparently. And that's just because there's so many regulations with Tesla anyway. But dude, now that I have a fully electric car, like every time I see someone with like smoke coming out the back of the car, I just think, wow, you're fucking scrub, dude. You're a scrub. No, it actually pisses me off now when I see people with smoke coming out the back of their car. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's like I feel like such a piece of shit. But
Are you getting high on your own smug? Like South Park?
Smug alert.
Yep.
He's starting to like the smell of his own farts. Yeah,
Smuggler. That's what that is. Yeah.
yeah, smug
Let me.
alert.
Yeah.
well, I feel like the time in the experience in Oz where the guy is drunk driving, he kills someone. I feel like that would be the only time I'd actually go to prison. Is like if I'm so drunk and I just don't even realize it and I just go in my car and kill someone. It's like that would be the only time I could ever see myself getting
No, you
like.
blame the car. Blame the car. You're all good with this because you have that Tesla. It's gonna get you home.
It was on auto drive.
True.
Yeah.
Sure, I
Yeah,
should use that.
I think that that's got to be one of the nicer things I think about a self-driving car. I'm glad to hear from someone who's like got one and has this experience because they really do tout it as autopilot, like take me to Walmart.
But I mean,
And
it is a lifesaver. I mean, it's like if you're really tired and you want to just get some extra sleep, if it's bumper to bumper traffic, you could just use it. And you don't like. I've never worried about it. I've never even worried 1 second about me getting killed from it. But it's just like the thing is like Mercedes is coming out in 2018. They're coming out with an autopilot feature in their car. Everyone's trying to, I guess, like copy it now. But it's kind of annoying because every time you're using the autopilot, like every 5 minutes, it'll give you a little warning saying you have to put your hands on the wheel because like legally you kind of have to have your hands on the wheel. So that part's kind of annoying. So it's like I wouldn't recommend just like all out going to sleep because you'd probably stop the car in the middle of the expressway. But it's actually really good if you're like using your phone or I don't know, just doing anything in traffic, especially.
I drove a lesser car with like an autopilot. It just sort of helped you stay in the lane and slow down if you caught another car in cruise control. But if you took your hands off the wheel for even a second, like it wouldn't work anymore. Like I don't know how it's.
Tesla's much better with that. The Mercedes, the new one that's coming out, the new Mercedes, it's going to be really bad with that. Apparently, it's going to have like a thing that tells you to put your hands on the wheel every couple seconds. So it's like, screw that. That's not even worth it, because it's like I want to be able to just sit down and just let my car drive for me, which is what I do on my Tesla. I mean, the only thing that I really like about the Tesla, though, is the acceleration. That's the thing that me and my friends love. It feels like a spaceship. Like I think it's 0 to 60 in like 3.5 seconds or something, and it's actually a really fast car. Like, and it just looks like a sedan. It looks like a nice car, but it doesn't look like it's a sports car. But like I was racing a Corvette. To be honest, I don't know if I actually was racing him. Maybe he was just going a normal speed limit. I really don't know. But I completely destroyed this guy. Like how fast I.
He didn't even. It was like he didn't know he was racing. It was like
like he wasn't even trying.
Didn't even get in the third.
Crazy. It's like next level acceleration. Like no other car could beat it. But it's definitely a great car. The one thing that sucks about it, though, and the one thing that you should kind of be wary of, is the range. It's like you take it out and you drive it for one day, maybe for a couple hours, and it's literally, it goes from 250 miles to 0 within like only 50 miles. Like they advertise it like the car has 250 miles on it, but in reality, if you're going over the speed limit, like if you're going over 60 miles an hour, then like literally you can only drive like 50 miles of the car and it'll be done. So
would
it's
it be
actually
a nightmare for like a road trip, or would that be impossible?
Yes, yeah, a road trip's just basically impossible. Like I heard one guy saying like you can't go to northern Michigan with a Tesla because it's like, you wouldn't be able to get back because the car wouldn't have, I guess actually if you brought like an outlet and you had like a house up there, you'd be able to do it. Like I have an outlet now in my garage and it just charges itself. But before I had to go to the supercharger every single day. It was like the worst thing ever. It was awful.
Were there times like where you were regretting the purchase as you had to go there every day? Where you're like, God damn it, I've given myself an errand. Look at all these people.
And I just spent $1,000 to get an outlet put in my garage. I mean, like, so it was pretty shitty at first, but once you have an outlet put in, it should be okay. It's a good car, though. I love it.
Yeah, and they're only gonna get better, right? Like
I love Elon Musk, dude. I have a hard on for that guy. I fucking love him so much, man. I think he's an alien, dude. I think that those conspiracy theories saying that like he's talking to aliens or something. I don't know. I definitely think that's possible.
I don't think his technology is good enough. We're gonna need something fancier before I start.
People think he like talks to aliens and stuff. I doubt that's true. Obviously, I don't think that's true. But
how fucking underwhelming would it be if an alien came to Earth and all he had to show us was like a Tesla?
Yeah.
Like how humiliatingly, like everybody on Earth would have to agree to pretend to be excited because the alien was here, and we like had to make sure they didn't just leave him feeling salty. Like, oh my God, like hide all the fucking Priuses. Oh, Tesla. Wow. What else you guys got? Oh, you drove that here. Oh, you've been on the way a long time. You're like, oh.
They were slowed down because there were no outlets, so they had to keep stopping.
Instead of drift the last 10 light years.
It sounds like the Tesla's a good second car. Like if you're going fast and it goes 50 miles, or let's assume you can get 100 if you're comfortable. You almost need a gas car too. At least I would.
It's definitely not comfortable driving at the speed limit, because the thing is when you take your foot off the gas on a Tesla, it brakes. So the problem with that is it's like, so every time you don't have your foot on the gas, it's braking. So basically, it just sucks because you always have to kind of accelerate with it, or you have to put your foot kind of gently on the gas, which is kind of annoying.
Right? You must use that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I use the autopilot all the time, but it's pretty annoying, like trying to drive at like a normal speed, like at normal streets, because I always see myself going way over the speed limit. But I thought it would be a good second car because I had like my first car still, but it's been a good first car. Like my friend FaZe Rain, he has an Audi R8, and I'm like an Audi, but he has like an Audi R8, and like he only has 2 seats in that car, and that would be a horrible first car. Like to have that as your primary car, to have only 2 seats. I was thinking about getting that, but I'm like, there's no way because it only has 2 seats. Like I wouldn't be able to drive my friends around.
Yeah, I look at Lotuses every now and then. Like, I forget which one I was looking at before, but I was just looking at the model up. There's this guy on YouTube. He's a popular channel, like Dave DeMario, something like that. And I think you're muted, Scarce. But anyway, yeah, he just drove a Lotus recently, and I saw his video. And I go on eBay, and there's like a 2012, looks perfect Lotus for $35,000. And it's like, I could. I just could. I could have like a supercar least in the handling department, it would be like Tesla.
They're so cool. And the thing about a 2012 Lotus is like, I don't know about you, but it looks just like a fucking 2017 Lotus. You know, right?
Yeah.
Like they all look fucking badass with these tiny little, just cool fucking badass.
It looked like
cars.
you could pick them up.
Yeah, I
like
used to live near a
felt high.
dealership, and I'd drive by them every day, and they always had like the funkiest of colors as like their show pieces out in front. So it'd be like a lime green one and like some burnt orange and like a purple one. Yeah, those things are.
You're
those
totally
things are cool.
right about it not mattering if it's 2012 versus 2017 for a Lotus, because it's like you don't see enough of those to know the difference. Like, all people will see is that's a really novel car. That's neat. Like,
yeah,
they
I like
don't
those
know,
little kit cars too.
12?
I like kit cars that I see on eBay that are like fiberglass shells.
I don't even
that
do
just,
IKEA.
That you just stick over some cheaper, more affordable, more common like chassis or something like that. I like
you
those.
turn
I like
a
those.
Ford Focus into what looks like a really cool car, but really it's just a Ford Focus.
Yeah, I've seen the ones that are. What's the DeLorean? I've always wanted a DeLorean. I think those are really fucking cool. Those are pretty expensive. They are for sale. But first, the DeLorean's all stainless steel, and I've never seen anyone do it. But I've always wanted to get like stainless steel polish and a buffer, and like make the DeLorean fucking chrome. You know, just
sharpen it.
No, polish it. Polish the entire outside of the stainless steel until it's like chrome, and just have it be super shiny. I think DeLoreans are fucking cool. That's always been a car I've wanted.
You need to park with so much room on your sides with a DeLorean with those doors.
I'm showing it to people on YouTube. This one's 2011 and it's 46,000, so it's a little more than I talked about. But still, it just seems like this is a super car, and it's, I mean, not.
Yeah, it looks like a Corvette kind of.
People are paying
Honestly,
more.
Yeah,
for
that
the
one does
pickup
look
trucks.
Corvette-ish.
Honestly, for 46K, that's actually so great. I'm sure the car is actually shit though. Like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Lotus, because it's such a, I don't know. Lotus isn't really a company. I feel like it's such a small company. The car itself probably is pretty shitty, but it looks great. I mean, I've never known anyone with a Lotus, so
That date
that
never
sounds
been
really
to
cool.
Lotus.
My friend was telling me, he's like, you should get a Lotus, because my dad was telling me to get a Tesla. My friend's like, no, get a Lotus, because like no one's gonna know what that is. It's gonna look so cool. It's gonna be like a conversation piece. But I don't know. There's not even any dealers near me. It's just such a not well-known company.
It's a 6-speed. I bet that would be so much fun to drive. Like this is the kind of car that it would be really fun to take out on a racetrack. Like not to race against people, but just to see what the car could do and slide it through some corners and stuff. It looks. I drove a few Porsche Boxsters, and I think maybe it's a similar size and everything. It's so much fun to be in a really small car with a ton of power. That's cool.
I think the nicest car I've ever been in is it a Phantom? Rolls-Royce Phantom?
Yeah.
Where I knew somebody growing up whose dad had that, and it was more of, it wasn't even like, hey, want to hop in and take it around? And this guy that I knew was not my friend, not the dad, obviously. It was like, whatever, fuck it, kind of, we can go fuck around in our pool house and throw a party. He won't find out or whatever. Even then, when it's like, can we hop in and can you take us around the block? And the Phantom, he'd be like, I will back it out of the garage and then pull it slowly back into the garage. And it was like, all right, that's cool. Like, I may as well. And then when you like get in it, you're like, oh, this is like, I mean, I obviously didn't drive it, but it seemed more like a car where it's like, you, as the owner, you're not the driver almost, where it's like someone is chauffeuring you around so you can have like this cool, like,
experience,
console in the back where like they keep like glassware for whiskey and stuff, like that kind of fancy. So I don't know, if I ever was like a multi-billionaire, I feel like I'd be much more likely to pay somebody to drive me around in a cool luxury car like that, get all my magic cards out in the back, bring some video games, do whatever. I could make new decks, all I wanted in the back. You know, I don't have to let anybody else in because it's my area, and I can obviously afford a Phantom, so I can drive around and buy a magic card. It doesn't have to be about magic. It doesn't have to be about magic.
It could be, though.
But it could be about magic.
It should be.
If you wanted it to.
It will be.
Oh.
Speaking of that,